Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
You're okay? First, I want to make sure that it's okay if I record this session.
Of course.
All right. Well, if at any time you feel uncomfortable, we can always turn the video off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I also want to just reiterate that anything we talk about today is going to be confidential. It'll be just between you and I. But if at any time I feel that you may harm yourself or harm someone else, I may have to break that confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay. So what brought you in today?
I don't know, I'm feeling stressed and I've got this decision I need to make and no one can help me decide and everyone's like, you should do this or you should do that, and I'm just really stressed out.
Okay. So, what is this decision?
I'm trying to figure out, it has to do with work and school. I start my practicum in the fall and I don't know how many hours it's going to be because, each site changes, so I don't know if I should quit my job. I can afford to live off my financial aid and my partner's income, but it's nice having that extra spending money.
Right.
And depending on how much free time I have, I don't do well with free time, so I just don't know if I'm going to have time to work or how I should do this, and I just don't know what to do.
Okay. So maybe we'll go through, let's make a list about what the positive aspects of keeping your job and what the positive aspects of quitting your job would be. All right? So what do you like about having your job that you wouldn't want to give up?
I don't feel like I'm sitting at home depressed as much.
Okay.
Because, when I didn't have a job, I was either at school, the few hours of class, or I was at home the entire time. There'd be days when I didn't leave my house, and I just know I get depressed and my anxiety gets really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why.
So kind of keeping busy, you thrive at being busy.
Yes.
Right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but you moved here from Oregon, correct?
Yes.
So that was probably hard because you moved somewhere that you didn't know anybody, and then you also didn't have like a work network to keep you busy and to meet people through.
I just didn't have a network in general.
Yeah.
No friends. Well, I have 2 family members who, live an hour or 2 away.
Right.
Until
but they're your grandparents, correct?
Grandparents, yes. We gotta go farm. No struggle to
It's kind of relaxing to be able to go visit them from time to time.
It was. It's.
Well, see, I can empathize with that because when I was first down here, I also didn't know anybody, and I had trouble finding a job. I was here for 3 months before I got a job. And many of those feelings that you're talking about, anxiety, depression, just kind of self-doubt. I was like, what am I doing here? Those are definitely feelings that I also felt.
Yeah, it was difficult. Thankfully, a few months ago, my boyfriend moved here, and we now live together and have our own apartment. And thankfully, I have a job and I'm not home because his best friend just moved in with us.
Okay.
So,
how's that going?
I want her out. I want her out. She can stay in North Carolina. I don't care. I don't want her living with us. It's just too much drama, which I think is why I like being able to go to work. I enjoy my coworkers. I get out. Sure, there's some customers I don't like, and I wish didn't come to our store.
That's just customer service.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like my coworkers. We get
Well,
along.
that sounds really beneficial to me. And I feel like it is important to have, even if it is work, but something that is your own. You know what I mean? Like you leave your apartment, and it's something that it's not school, which is a stressor. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily like the most stress-free thing to be only involved in. So work can definitely be that for somebody. Get you some time away out of the house, and you meet coworkers and people through work. So those all sound very beneficial. What is a negative aspect of keeping your job?
I just worry that my schedule doesn't work with my school schedule. Because, I don't drive, so, I either have to wait for my boyfriend to take me to school, a friend, or Uber, and walking home, it takes about 45 minutes, so I've got to go from work to home, shower, because, I get hot and gross, and I don't want to go to class like that, and then I have to wait to go to class, and it's just time-consuming.
Yeah.
And then not knowing, where I'm going to be placed. Like, I'm going to have to go to the school I'm working at because I'm trying to be a school counselor and work, and just juggling all of this is slightly worrisome. because I've never done it before. This is the
Right.
first real job I've had as an adult.
Okay. Did you ever think that maybe you could pause on making the decision until you know what your hours will be at your placement?
I mean, I think
Or would
I'm
it
going
give
to
you-
have to. It's just planning, because I'm going
Right.
to have to budget ahead.
Right.
So, because I get my financial aid in July, I'm going to need to know, do I need to pay this month's rent? And do I need to, like, budget for all this stuff? Am I going to be able to afford to go home? Am I going to have the time to go home? Because I also have to, like, buy plane tickets for August.
Right.
Since I don't get to go home this time. So that my boyfriend and I can see my family, but also see his family. Because, yeah, another fun aspect of our lives is his mother just was diagnosed with cancer, and it's spread from her thigh to her lungs.
Okay.
So I guess I'm overthinking everything, trying to plan for everything that keeps popping up.
Right. Right. Which is very difficult to plan for that kind of stuff
Yep.
because you don't see it coming, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this does seem like a decision that is going to be hard to make and one that really only you can make. Are there any other kind of feelings that you feel? When you envision yourself, so close your eyes and visualize yourself, what do you want to do? It sounds to me, and I may be wrong, but it sounds that you would want to keep your job.
Yes. I mean, I have days where I hate it and days where I get frustrated, but overall I do like working there. I've met some pretty interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
My coworker's fun. I have one coworker. Whenever we see each other and we find out we're working the same shift, we all get excited. We both get excited.
Yeah.
I mean, when you walk into work and you haven't even made it to your break room to sign in, you hear, Ronnie! You get super excited.
Yeah. Would you consider trying to do the juggling act and trying to make it work? And if it doesn't, just conceding, being like, all right, this isn't going to work,
Mm-hmm.
and at least you tried?
I'm thinking about it. The nice thing about where I work is my school comes before anything else. If I have a midterm the next day and I'm supposed to work the day before, but I'm stressed about that, I just have to be like, I got a midterm tomorrow. Can we do something about this? And they'll be like, yes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
When my finals got moved last term and I didn't know I was supposed to have them, they moved my schedule around and found someone to cover my shift, and which was really helpful because
Yeah.
I mean our finals were all set and then all of our professors ended up changing them.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember that. Could you even another option would be do they have set schedules at your work?
no, they have my availability and they change from what they need. It also depends on what you're trained in. I'm currently only trained in 2 areas, kind of 3, but they're working on getting me more. I get to work the worst section next week.
The worst?
The worst.
What's the worst section?
Home.
Oh.
Because it's a disaster and things kind of just get placed. Cookware is here, but what you're looking for might not be organized.
Yeah.
It's just,
Is there any way is it just not company policy to make set schedules? Because I know where I work, technically no, there are no set schedules, but if you absolutely required one and asked, they will work with you to be that you would only work these certain days that you say that you can.
Yeah, they'll follow that. It's my availability.
So would you be able to maybe start out saying, I'm available only one day, and see how you go working just one day? And then if that's okay, after, a couple weeks, 3 weeks, being like, okay, I can work this day and that day.
I thought about that, and I just don't know if they're going to be okay with that. I mean, people need more than limited availability.
Right.
And people have been fired for limited availability. I always have the weekends. The school counselor doesn't work on the weekends. And I am a night owl, and I can stay awake and write a paper till 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it works great for me, because I ain't getting up at 8 or 9 o'clock to do it.
Right.
I don't do that well. So going home, if I close, I can definitely go home and do my homework. I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of options, and it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Because I've worked before, but it was usually for the university, so it was always around my schedule and my practicums and all that fun stuff. This is the first, real job during school.
Right. And there seems to be a lot of outside stressors that are affecting it as well, you know. We're all grown up now, so finances, rent. I know you're in Oregon, so going home is expensive. You know
it's
what
expensive,
I mean?
and it's needed. Normally, you know, we just be like, we can't afford it, we can't go.
But now.
But with my mother-in-law, you can't wait around when stuff like that's happening.
Yeah. It's definitely time sensitive. Well, I think you have a lot to think about, and I think when you said before that, you know, no one seems to be able to help you, I think it's because it's really a decision that ultimately you have to make with what you feel comfortable doing.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do, or what I'm going to ask you to do, is go home and for the rest of this week really think about the kind of like lists that we made, the positive
Mm-hmm.
and benefits, or positive and negative aspects of the job. Maybe even make like a little Venn diagram. Because for me, and we'll see if it works for you, like visualizing the potential benefits and negative aspects can really help make a decision. And I feel like listing the reasons why, you know, why you need to keep a job or why you wouldn't need one. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
you also have to realize that, like, or think about the fact that, like, practicum is very important and, you know, you don't want to burn yourself out halfway through grad school. So I think trying to think about what you know you're capable of doing, because really you know that better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I have to quit for internship. That's 40 hours a week on top of my classes that I'm hoping will be online. So I guess I just was hoping not to quit that soon. Though I won't lie, I don't want to work Black Friday, Christmas, none of that. So I'm like, it's kind of a benefit.
And maybe you could think to say you get, you know, you're bummed. Maybe say you realize, like, I don't think I'll be able to do it. Would you think of maybe going back to it after the semester is over? Maybe not even that same job, but giving up the work for, you know, 3 or 4 months of practicum.
Well, I have internship right after that, and another one right after that.
Okay, so
that's the thing. I would be without a job for about a year.
Okay.
Because I do want to. I mean, I moved here for school. I didn't move here to find a job.
Right.
And my boyfriend, thankfully, is now a store manager as of 2 weeks ago, so his income covers us.
Right.
But I mean, I like being able to go out and have drinks and go dancing when we want.
Of course.
So it's so confusing. I've decided I just don't want to be an adult anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that same sentiment. One last theory I've just thought of. Would you think of finding a job that you know would allow you to only work 1 or 2 days?
If I could find one, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's another homework assignment. How about you just research open jobs, like maybe on Craigslist, just to familiarize yourself with what's out there?
Yeah, that's almost how I found this one.
Yeah.
I went on Craigslist, snag a job.
Yeah, I mean, even you don't need to even actively apply to them.
It's just
but maybe just see, because I know, like, when I've looked at Craigslist, there are some that are just like, we need 8 hours of after-school work with a kid, things like that might be more flexible, or we need Sunday morning.
Good experience.
Yeah, Sunday morning, whatever, you know, so maybe look, so then you might not feel so bad knowing that there are other options out there, that you don't need to technically quit working altogether. Maybe just this particular place won't work with your schedule.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean every place won't.
Thought about doing my praxis earlier and getting my temporary license to be a school counselor, and just seeing if I can be a school counselor and count that as not the practicum, but the internship. But I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It'd be nice, though.
All right, well, do you feel confident working on those for this week?
I think so. I think those will be good ones. I mean, I love lists, so...
Yeah, it's
keeps,
always,
like,
it makes you help you
organized.
feel organized and more in control, you know?
As long as I
And
don't
because
make
you
too
are
many.
in control. You're completely in control of this decision. It's your life and your decision and your time and your energy, so...
The energy's the issue.
Yeah.
And with school, it kind of drains us a little bit.
I can empathize,
So,
yeah.
But I think this is a good place to start. I know, I won't lie, I'm really excited about making lists. I think that'll be helpful and beneficial for me personally.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm going to have you work on that for this week, and I think this is where we'll probably end this session. And so work on that, and I will see you again next week.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.